This week on Let's Fish TV, we're on Mena Lake. Mena Lake is located in the western part of Arkansas, about an hour west of Hot Springs. It's a little tiny lake, but it has one thing in it, big bass and one of my favorite vegetations, and that's lily pads. And today, we're gonna be targeting those lily pads using one of my favorite techniques, and that's throwing a frog on some big line. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now.
That is a fish. Oh man, look at this.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. Woo!
This is Let's Fish.
Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw, and today we're at a really cool place in western Arkansas called Mena Lake. It's on the eastern part of Mena, Arkansas, and about an hour west of Hot Springs. It's a tiny little lake. Some would even confuse it as a pond. As you can see, this is the dirt boat ramp leading into the lake. And let me tell you, the first time I came here, I was like, didn't really know what to think. But I'm telling you guys, this place is special. It has a nice population of bass, and it has one of my favorite vegetations, and that's lily pads. And the fish are in them, and I can't wait to go out there and throw a big old pad perch and try to catch one of those big old bass. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporter. In the meantime, I'm gonna get this puppy launched, get everything set up, toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hey everybody, the Salooner tables are predicting fair game fish activity both days this weekend. Peak times begin early morning before the sunrise around 3:13 Saturday and 4:33 Sunday morning. Daytime activity picks up around 3:38 on Saturday and 4:20 Sunday afternoon. Depending on your local area, you can expect the sun to rise around 6:30 and set around 8:35, and evenings will feature a moon that's 90% visible. Stay with us, we've got fishing reports from across the area on the way, plus Bassmaster Elite Angler Chris Zaldane will be stopping by to answer your Ask the Pro question.
Today on Mena Lake, we're dealing with a really tough condition. I know you hear me say that a lot, but let's be honest, guys, not every day is rainbows and lollipops out here on the lake, but today we're dealing with a high pressure system and little to no wind, and we're in the middle of summer. And that can be a recipe for disaster. But today I'm gonna show you how to divert that disaster and show you how to catch some fish here on Mena and maybe a few big ones. And today we're gonna be up in that stuff, up in those pads and trying to catch them on a pad perch, one of my favorite baits by Strike King. Gosh, I can't wait to get out there. Let's go see what they're all about. There we go, guys. Oh man, I mean, came over there and clobbered that thing. Welcome to Mena Lake. And look at the size of this fish. Can't tell me he didn't want that pad perch right there. Fishing lily pads in the summertime, you cannot beat it. Oh, come here, baby. Oh, come here. Oh, check that out. You can't tell me he did not want that pad perch right there. Mena Lake, just outside of Mena, Arkansas. Hidden gem, guys. I probably will get in trouble for showing you this footage. We're gonna catch them today doing one of my favorite things, and that is catching them on a frog. Well, in this case, a perch. This is the pad perch. Fishing lily pads, you can't beat it. Let's get this fish back real quick. Let's talk a little bit about Mena Lake. There we go. Man, what an awesome blow up that was. See fish, there she goes. Man, what a fish that was. This is a place that a buddy of mine's been telling me about for quite some time. Mena Lake is on the western part of Arkansas, right on the border of Oklahoma. It's one of those places that just has a big population, or a nice population of big bass. And one of my favorite features that you don't find on many lakes down south anymore, and that's lily pads. And when it comes to summertime and into the fall, there's not a more fun way to fish. But golly, guys, when those fish come out there and they blow up on that frog, blow up on that perch, there's nothing that will ever beat it. But today we're going to be talking about Mena Lake, but more importantly, We'll be talking about fishing lily pads, fishing this really thick vegetation, how you're supposed to fish that popping perch and pad perch to get maximum performance out of your bait and to help you land more fish the next time you're on the water. Because I'm telling you guys, this place has a variety of vegetation from, you know, you have your water willow, your lily pads, you got pads that are above the water, below the water, depending on water depth. But we're gonna show you all that here on Mina Lake and more here in just a second. I'm gonna see if I can catch me another one.
Hey, I have some anglers reporting they're beating the heat and having good success for bass by fishing at night, especially at Grand Lake and Lake Tenkiller. Now, both of those bodies of water are in good shape lake level wise, and they're concentrating on the transitional areas in and around the dock where you have rocky shorelines that are transitioning to either bigger or smaller rock, and they're also catching them on the shallow rocky points, but all after dark. They're throwing the big worms, 9 to 12 inch size, mostly in tomato red and also in some of the darker hues such as black itself. Good schooling white bass activity going on in several places across the state. It can happen anytime throughout the day, so be ready for that. Places that are especially good right now are Arbuckle, Eufaula, Fort Gibson, Lake Hudson. Have those inline spinners like a rooster tail ready. Also have that jigging spoon on. With the jigging spoon, you can make a long cast, work it quickly back just under the surface. Those fish go down, let that spoon go down, vertical jig it, you're gonna catch them on that. Good white bass fishing in Oklahoma at this time. You can catch them, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
Oh, there we go. It took me out of my shoe, guys. Oh my gosh. I wasn't ready. That's how frog fishing is, guys, is you just aren't always ready when them fish are gonna blow up on you. I wanna show you something when we get this fish in. Look at all this gunk we got with it. Let me tell you, when you're out here fishing in this really heavy cover, you gotta have good equipment. I can't stress it enough. Good line especially that you can trust. Had this fish been a 5 or 6, 7 pounder, this probably would have gotten the fish off. And that's just the reality of, I mean, just see how easy that came out right there. That's what happens when you are throwing that pad perch, is you have that, you know, that tendency to lose fish from time to time, but not a bad fish. I mean, golly, guys, I literally stepped out of my flip-flop because I wasn't ready for that strike. And that is what makes frog fishing one of the most fun things you can ever do. Let's get this fish back real quick. There we go. All right, guys, real fast, I'm gonna talk to you about picking the right style of frog and the right color and why it is so important. So today I'm fishing a warmouth colored hack attack pad perch. Now this is designed for extremely heavy cover, but you know the deal is when we're out there fishing, it can be really confusing. This day and age, there's so many different styles of frogs, colors of frogs, and man, I'm telling you, even me sometimes I'm like, man, do I need that color, this color, or this color? But guys, let me keep it really basic for you. You basically need about 3 to 4 different style or colors of frogs. And today I'm using warmouth. This is bruised banana here, or rotten banana is actually the name of it, but it's still another bluegill style color. You want a bluegill style color, you want a white one, and you want a black one. If you get those 3 colors, you can basically get anything you need at any given time and catch the fish that you need to. Now, picking the right style, like I said before, that popping style, like the popping perch, is definitely my favorite open water frog. And now when I get in a situation where I'm in really heavy cover, the hack attack pad perch definitely fits the bill. But paying attention to color and what the fish are eating is extremely important. Another trick, and I'm gonna go and tell you, there's gonna be some hate comments on here, and that's okay. But have your hydrowave, turn your hydrowave on when you get in that shallow water and around those pads, around that shallow grass when you're throwing a frog, and you'll thank me later. That hydrowave, it activates those bait fish, but more importantly, when you get around the pads and you turn that hydrowave on, you're gonna start hearing those perch popping underneath the pads. And that is a big key on what color you need to throw and what style body you need to throw. And that's when I'm throwing either a warmouth color, like this one here, or a solid black. And honestly, I think they're interchangeable. I just throw warmouth because it's one of my favorite colors. Shout out to Todd Castledine, he's the one who hooked me up on that color. But let me tell you guys, frog fishing here in Arkansas, it's where it's at right now.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors, making it easier than ever to gear up and have fun out there. Visit Mississippi, Wanderers welcome. Power Pole, total boat control. Balls Out, made in the USA, heavy duty mounts for your fish finders.
Oh, get out of that pad. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh yeah, another nice one on the frog. Oh, get out of that pad. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, there we go. Got it. Oh, barely got him hooked. Oh, there we go. Man, man, oh man. Check that out, guys. Another nice one on the pad perch. Barely had him. He came out there and sucked it in. What a cool place that Mena Lake is. We've caught them up on the bank on a pad perch. And let's get this fish back real quick. Another real healthy bass. I'm telling you, there's one thing about it, is these fish are super healthy, especially for the middle of summer. Let's get this thing back real quick. There we go. All right, guys, today I want to talk to you about the 6 keys to frog fishing. And this is from experience. This is years and years of experience in and around shallow water fishing pads and matted grass. And I promise you, if you pay attention to these, it will help you the next time you're out there. So one of the very first things you gotta have is a whisper quiet trolling motor, one that you can sneak in and around that really shallow cover and not make a lot of noise. I'm using the MotorGuide Tour Pro, and it's weedless. It makes it so much easier weaving in and around. The second key, power poles. I'm telling you, without a shadow of a doubt, having power poles on your boat will make it easier to make a recast. And what I mean by that is when you catch one, the very first thing I do is drop my poles. What that does is it allows me to make that cast again, just in case there's another fish, and a lot of times there is. The third key is good braided line, 65-pound test. Guys, these fish, when they're eating a frog, cannot see your line. There's no reason to throw 30-pound, 40-pound braid. Go to 65, guarantee yourself getting that fish in the boat. The fourth thing is have a good rod, 7.2 to 7.3. Today I was using the Frog Rod by Greg Hackney, and you can't go wrong with that. It's a Signature Series rod by Luz, and it is a fantastic rod. Number 5, a high-speed gear ratio reel. You need something that's at least 7.5 to 1, if not 8.3 to 1. That makes a humongous difference catching up to those fish and getting them in. And last but not least, guys, number 6, and I can't stress it enough, is be patient on your hook set. Don't set the hook as soon as you see the fish blow up, because a lot of times, just like today, those fish would hit the pad and not the frog. You got to keep your eye on the frog at all times, and if you can't see it, wait until you feel pressure, then set the hook. If you set the hook too fast, what that fish is going to do is bury you in the pads and get off almost every single time, especially if it's a big one.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by the good folks at DD26 Fishing. American made, 6061 billet aluminum, the best transom savers and steering stops your money can buy. Lone Star gets you 20% off and free shipping. Now this week we're going to start at Hubbard Creek, where there's a great bass bite, and the thing you need to know is that the bass are in the grass. But this is not that topped out hydrilla that's easy to find. We're talking submerged grass. You're going to be looking anywhere from 25 to about 17 feet of water for grass that grows up 6 or 8 feet off the bottom. You're going to have to use your sonar. In some places you may see this grass, but mostly it's going to be a sonar type bite. Now once you find the grass, you're going to use your typical baits for fishing offshore. Your A-rigs, your deep diving crankbaits, your weighted swim baits. Those type of baits will reach down to the top of that grass and get you a bass bite. Now over at PK, stripers are off main lake structure. You're looking humps, points, ledges, and things like that. your standard striper fare, your spoons, big flutter spoons, or even live bait. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Mamba Boats, Ride with Pride, Strike King, Tie One On, Glacier Glove, stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades, Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
Oh, I got him. I got him. Oh, it's a big one. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, that's a big one. Oh, God. He came out there and clobbered that KVD 300 DD. Oh my gosh. He's not as big as I thought he was, but he had me wrapped on that tree. Goodness gracious. Oh, stay on here, baby. Got to hit that anchor lock real quick. Oh, he's barely hooked. Oh, come on, baby. You got to really take your time when you're trying to land these fish on a jerkbait. You don't want to overdo it. Just kind of want to take your time, let them do their deal, and you can really get them calmed down if you pay attention. You just want to keep, what I like to do is, it's kind of like an S pattern. I just want to keep that S pattern going, keep them swimming, but not necessarily letting them jump. And then I'll casually bring him back around to this side just like this. And then I'll grab him around the side just like that. And that's how you land them on that jerkbait. But golly, what a nice bass on that KVD 300. So we're out here on Mina Lake. We made an adjustment, came out here on some isolated timber using our Lowrance active target and finding these bait balls around these isolated pieces of cover and catching really nice bass like this. I'm gonna get this fish back real quick. Let's get this thing back. There she goes. This is a new lake for me. I literally have never seen this body of water until today. I've never even looked at maps, reports, or anything. Just showed up and went fishing with high expectations of figuring out how to catch a bass. Well, kind of shifted out here, kept a jerkbait on my deck, and I always keep that 300 DD on my deck all the time. And the deal is, when I'm out here fishing, it's all about adapting to certain conditions. Right now, we got a little bit of breeze kicked up, and that's what triggered me to come out here and to try this jerkbait on isolated cover in hopes of catching a nice bass.
Hi everyone, Captain Greg Varm here, bringing you another Texas Coastal Fishing Report. Hey, July has started off with a bang here in Freeport for offshore fishing. Captain Greg Jr. has been on some solid red snapper, running out 30 to 50 miles. Also, just last week, he did a swordfish snapper trip on a day trip only, not overnight. They went 2 for 2 on swords and full limits of snapper. And they also landed a wahoo. The kingfish bite, hey, it's been spotty, but it should get better as we move through July. August will be here before we know it, and amberjack season, it opens August 1st. Now on to the inshore fishing in Galveston. The North and South Jetty, hey, it's on fire right now. Those big surf running speckled trout are thick and they're being caught on live shrimp and piggies. August 1st opens up amberjack season. We're fishing inshore right now as well. Give us a call, check out our websites, fish with us here at Freeport, Texas Fishing Charters, or fish in Galveston, Texas. Hey, give us a call, check out our websites. Captain Greg Varm, see you next week.
Oh, I got him. Oh, it's a big one. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, that's a big one. Oh, he choked it. Oh, come on. Oh, boat flipping biggins, baby. Woo, check that out, guys. Mina Lake, nice largemouth bass. Changed up colors a little bit, and that was the ticket. Nice 4+ pound bass. Golly, what a freaking fish that is. Man, that is an awesome way to end the day. Let's get this fish back and we'll talk just a second about what we had to do today to catch these nice Mena Lake bass. But that's what frog fishing's all about. It's never when you expect the bite to happen, it's always unexpected, and that's what makes it so adrenaline rushing and so amazing. It ranks up there as one of my favorite ways to catch a bass. Guys, I know today was a long and stressful day for me. It was a short one for you, but I am so glad that you were here. Make sure you stay tuned. We're gonna be talking about baits and everything else right after this.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, America's #1 fish finder, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan or book your fishing charter at orangebeach.com. MotorGuide's Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by passion. Coastline Trailers, built by fishermen for fishermen.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's get straight to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Zeb wants to know, do you still use monofilament fishing line for anything, or is everything on fluorocarbon line? For an answer, we asked Bassmaster Elite Angler Chris Zaldane.
I usually use monofilament on topwater lures. I love it on a topwater popper with a little loop knot. But more importantly, on my big glide baits, my big swim baits, I love that stretch. It's forgiving. Not only that, but my rods on these big 8-foot swim baits are really, really stiff. So you could kind of, you could take some of that stiffness out of that big swim bait rod just by using monofilament line, like a 25-pound test monofilament line. So use that stretch to your advantage. I know I do.
Thanks so much, Chris. If you want some help from one of the pros, simply go to letsfishtv.com, follow that Ask the Pro link, and you can submit your very own question.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
So here at Mena Lake, there was a two-prong approach that I used to catch my fish. And I'm just gonna tell you guys, when you're pad fishing, a lot of times that early morning time period is a bust. So if you're just wanting to catch them on a frog, you need to get here about 10 o'clock and then fish all afternoon. But in the meantime, what I did is I actually picked up a KVD 300 DD. This is a deep diving jerk bait by Strike King. And I used my Lowrance active target to catch one really, really nice fish whenever the frog fish just weren't cooperating. Truly, you gotta have a confident setup to catch them on a frog. In this case, I was using the pad perch. I used two different colors. I used warmouth and black and chartreuse by Strike King. Both of these colors are big time pad perch colors for me. One imitates a bluegill and the other I use in lower light situations, that black and chartreuse. And I really like that chartreuse top because I can see it and I know if those fish have actually eaten it or not. But guys, gear is so key. 7.5 to 1 gear ratio Pro TI by Luz. This is one of my favorite reels. It's so strong. And this is the Greg Hackney Signature Series 7'3" frog rod. And I've used this rod a ton in open water situations, skipping in around cover, hydrilla. This is actually my first experience in the pads, and I'm gonna tell you, I was very impressed with it. That's the type of rod you want. This is one of those that it has quite a bit of tip, but a ton of backbone. With these big super lines, these no stretch lines like the Strike King Contra braid, you gotta have that little bit of tip that where it doesn't pull the bait out of the fish's mouth, and that was a huge key. Make sure you come check out Mena Lake. It's a really small lake just on the east side of Mena, Arkansas, and I promise you, you'll be glad you did. Until next time, guys, I'll see you on the water.